Okay, so let's just get right into it. You know what's kind of crazy? We as human beings will spend like 20 minutes arguing with customer service over a $3 coffee surcharge, but then we'll watch thousands of dollars just vanish from our retirement accounts and we just shrug. It's this bizarre puzzle of our financial lives, and today we are going to solve it. We're going to shine a bright light on 3 massive, wealth-destroying fees that are operating completely in the shadows. I mean, really think about it. You get that email saying your gym membership is going up by $3 and you're furious, right? But at the same time, you're completely oblivious to the silent killers. There's this story about a guy who lost $42,000 in a single year from fees he didn't even know were there. See, we've been trained to laser focus on all the small, noisy expenses, while the truly catastrophic costs just slip by completely unnoticed. And let's be really clear here. These are not taxes. Taxes you can at least see. You feel that sting when they're taken out of your paycheck. No, these fees are so much more dangerous precisely because you don't see them. They're just automatically deducted, you never question them, and they don't just cost you money today. They are stealing decades of your future growth. So let's start with fee number 1, and honestly, it's the most destructive of them all: compounding costs. It usually shows up as the seemingly harmless 1 or 2% investment fee, but really it acts like a permanent parasitic tax on every single dollar of your wealth. Okay, so the official term for this thing is the expense ratio. You'll find it buried deep in the fine print of your 401k or your mutual fund statement. And your brain, well, it sees a number like 1% and it thinks, that's nothing. That thought right there is catastrophically wrong. See, an investment fee isn't a one-time thing. It's charged every single year on your entire balance, just relentlessly eating away at your growth. And here is where you see the brutal math in action. Let's take 2 identical investors. Both invest $10,000 a year for 30 years. Both get the exact same 8% market return. The only, and I mean only, difference: Person A is in a low-cost index fund paying a tiny 0.04% fee. Person B is in a pretty common actively managed fund paying a 1.5% fee. Now just look at the difference in where they end up. That's right. After 30 years of doing the exact same things, one person is left with $300,000 less. This isn't some small leak we're talking about. It's a gaping hole in the bottom of your financial boat. So here's the absolute kicker. That tiny 1.5% fee didn't just cost you 1.5% of your returns. No, over a lifetime, it literally vaporized a full quarter of your potential wealth. 25% of your savings gone. Just hand it over for the privilege of someone else holding your money. You know, John Bogle, the guy who founded Vanguard, he had a perfect name for this. He called it the tyranny of compounding costs. He knew that fighting these hidden fees is one of the most important battles you can ever win in your financial life. All right, on to our second silent fee. And this one is even sneakier because it doesn't even feel like a fee at all. It's the cost of doing nothing, the invisible tax of inflation. I like to call it the melting ice cube. You look at your checking account and you see a balance of, say, $50,000. A month goes by, it's still $50,000. You feel safe, right? Well, that number is a complete illusion. That cash is like a block of ice sitting on the counter. The number on the scale doesn't change, but it's constantly melting, its purchasing power just dripping away, all thanks to inflation. And listen, this isn't some slow drip. At a pretty normal 3% inflation rate, your cash loses half of its buying power every 24 years. Half. You didn't spend it, you didn't lose it in the market, it just vanished into thin air. But the real crime here is the opportunity cost. Keeping a big pile of cash in a traditional checking account that's paying you basically nothing when high-yield savings accounts are paying 4 or 5%, that's like volunteering to lose money. On a $50,000 balance, that's a silent fee of about $2,500 every single year. And now for our third and final silent fee. This one's the hardest to face because it's the one we charge to ourselves. It's the price you pay for letting your emotions get behind the wheel of your financial decisions. There's actually a name for this. Researchers call it the behavioral gap. It's the measurable difference between the returns the stock market provides and the much, much lower returns the average person actually gets. So where does that difference go? It gets lost to fear, to panic, and to greed, to selling low when things look terrifying and buying high when everyone else is feeling euphoric. And this gap, it is absolutely real. Look, over the last 30 years, while the S&P 500 returned about 10% a year, the average investor, they only captured about 6.5% of that. That 3.5% difference, that is the self-inflicted fee for trying to time the market instead of just staying in it. Let's make this really concrete. Remember March 2020? The world was shutting down, the markets were plunging. Imagine your $200,000 portfolio is suddenly worth $132,000. Your brain is just screaming, debt out, sell. So you do. You move it all to cash. But then, just 4 months later, the market not only recovered, it rocketed to new all-time highs. And by trying to be safe, you missed the entire rebound. So, what was the cost of that one emotional decision? $78,000. You paid a nearly $80,000 fee for the feeling of doing something. You're not going to see a line item for this on your statement, but believe me, the loss is just as real. You know, Warren Buffett just nailed the essence of this fee when he said, the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. See, investing isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most disciplined. Okay, now let's put this all together in what I'm calling the full horror simulation. We've got two people, both start at age 25, both invest the exact same $500 a month. Person A pays high fees, keeps too much cash in checking, and panics during downturns, earning an effective return of 5%. But person B, they plug all the leaks, automate their savings, and they capture the full 10% market return. At age 65, the difference isn't small. It's not even big. It is $2.4 million. That is the staggering, mind-blowing, cumulative cost of these three silent fees. It's not one bad decision. It's a death by 1,000 tiny, invisible cuts. Okay, so that was the bad news. A lot of bad news. But the good news? Plugging these leaks is actually shockingly simple. You just have to stop volunteering to lose. Here is your 3-step action plan. First, I want you to conduct a wealth leak audit. Log into all your retirement accounts and find those expense ratios. If anything is over 0.5%, move that money to a low-cost index fund. Second, move any cash you have beyond your 3 to 6 month emergency fund out of checking and into a high-yield savings account. That is literally free money. And third, this is maybe the most important, automate everything. Make your investments happen automatically so you can't get in your own way. So let's just end with this one brutal truth. Building wealth isn't really about how much money you make. It's about how much of it you actually get to keep. You've now seen the leaks. The only question left is, what are you going to do to plug them?